or welcome back to Our Awaken. So this video is for the ladies, but I'm also sure some guys can resonate. But basically, the point of what I'm trying to get at today is, can we stop dealing with people that don't like us? Stop dating a person that you don't know in your mind 100% likes you. Can we stop dealing with guys that try to belittle you, embarrass you? It's like they're always trying to nitpick at you. Nothing you ever do is good enough. They don't appreciate anything that you do. They try to embarrass you when it's just the two of y'all, but also when there's other people around.
I was to smack at every chance I get. Oh, that's all I got.
Is that it? Come on, Cody. Are you sure?
I didn't write nothing down.
That's what you're going out with?
That's what I'm going with.
Cool.
We've made it this long.
But an example of that is the Zonique situation.
Think that we would be together if we didn't have a child? And why?
No.
They asking some good questions.
No.
Why not?
Because I feel like a lot of shit, you had an image in your mind of raising Hunter with a 2-parent home. So you tolerated a lot of shit. So you just stayed. I wouldn't be with you either.
Okay, so tell your why. Don't tell mine why. Tell your why.
Because I had 4 kids, and this is the only kid that I was in the household with from start to finish. So it's something that I don't want to take from her as well. But I would admit, like, kick you to the goddamn curb.
Well, why?
Bro, there's a lot of shit, bro. That I just don't tolerate from bitches, bro. We do a lot of it. I'm telling you.
He's talking for me.
No, I'm not. What? I'm hard
What do I
on a
be
bitch trying to pee.
And what do I be doing to you? Tell him one thing that I be doing to you.
Bro, your attitude, first of all, like we just went through with our whole fucking, with my fucking, like, goddamn.
Do you think, did you know I was the one?
What makes you think you're the one?
You can very much clearly tell that he does not like her. You can tell that he's just tolerating her. And it's to a point where he is very outright disrespectful about not liking her. And it's very clear that he's only dealing with her because of their daughter. And obviously because of whatever other access he has to her. But he don't like her. It's like if a person is always nitpicking at you and saying, oh, you need to do this better, you need to do that better, then tell them to go deal with somebody who displays those characteristics. But don't come and sit in my face and you're trying to tell me every little thing that you don't like I do. If you don't like what a person does, then you shouldn't even be dealing with them in the first place. Let's be honest. Because it's like at that point, you're wasting your time and you're just feeding into the mess yourself because you're staying with somebody that you don't like. They don't represent what you want them to represent. They don't show the characteristics that you want them to have. And when you stay with a person that makes it very clear based off of how they interact with you that they don't like you and that they're just tolerating you, their level of disrespect towards you is going to only increase because it's like, well, they're gonna get real comfortable because they see that you're tolerating it. If you don't value yourself and if you don't respect yourself, what makes you think another person is going to respect you? If you sit there and you tolerate all the negative comments that they have, all the little jabs that they're throwing at you, all the nitpicking that they're doing, for one, that's only going to lower your self-esteem and make you even more insecure. And for two, it just shows that you don't value yourself because it's like, why are you even sitting there tolerating that from a person? If they don't like you so much, tell them, kick them to the curb, tell them to leave.
Phase where you start hating your girlfriend? I'm talking about a viral Twitter thread where a guy said just that, and he said he would pick fights so he would find an excuse to break up with a girl. And I thought to myself, this sounds a lot like a narcissistic guy's devaluing phase of a woman, where the woman is no longer working as the source of supply that she once was, and it's not making the narcissistic guy feel as good about himself as she did in the beginning, so he begins to devalue her and pick out her flaws, bring up her insecurities, and put her down to make himself feel better about himself. The other thing that might be happening here is the guy is slowly turning the woman into his mother, but as she jumps through his hoops, the guy will still resent her anyway, and the woman, she'll be damned if she does, and she'll be damned if she doesn't. But this is the narcissist devalue phase.
Tell them to leave. But the problem is that women fantasize in relationships so much, or there's like this attachment codependency there to where it's like you don't know when to leave a person or a situation. And sometimes I understand women tend to operate from a more emotional place, but it's like you have to know what's good for you and what's not good for you, because at that point you're just choosing to be in a toxic relationship. But relationships are also a mirror to you to show, like, if you are putting yourself in a situation like that, then you also don't value yourself. Stop dealing with men that just tolerate you. There are so many people in this world to be staying with one person that does not like you out of comfort or out of, like I said, codependency. Staying in a situation like that, like I said, it's only going to lower your self-esteem. It's only going to lower your confidence. I've seen videos where men at their weddings, you would think they're about to tell a little cute vow to show how much he loves and appreciates his woman. But no, I've seen guys pull out "help me," or I've seen guys smash their wife's face in the cake, or I've seen some crazy things. And what boggles my mind the most is the fact that if a person does not like you, don't try to force them to like you. Or don't try to be delusional about, oh, he's just playing, or oh, that. No, he's not just playing. The man is showing you he don't like you. He's showing you he don't like you. And you're trying to find every excuse as to why he's acting this way. And the simplest answer is he don't like you. There's been a trend that recently passed where men are talking about, oh, when did you find out you hated your girlfriend? And then it's like all those little passive aggressive comments, or the way that they treat you, the way they act with you, that's a reflection of that. And they speak about how the things that their girlfriend once did is now like a turn off to them, or it's annoying to them. Basically a person who's tolerating you. Like, you shouldn't be in a relationship like that. You should be in a relationship with a person who loves and respects you, who values you, who, you know, enjoys your company and wants to be around you and laughs with you and stuff like that. Not a person who laughs at you, but a person who laughs with you. You want to be with a person who encourages you, not tries to tear you down. You should be with a person who wants to put effort into being around you, actually wants to spend time with you, not a person who tries to bring up every excuse as to why they're not available or why they're busy and this and that. Like, no, it's none of that. If a person is showing you that they do not like you, leave them. And one thing I want people to understand, and this is something I didn't really understand back in the day, but like, people will stay in a relationship with you based off of what you can do for them. A person cannot like you and still stay with you because there are benefits to being in a relationship with you. And from women, if you're sleeping with a man, that's benefiting him. If you're providing for him, or whatever little things that you are doing, if you're providing emotional support to him, that's benefiting him. If you're uplifting him, that's benefiting him. If you're cooking for him, that's benefiting him. First of all, if you're giving a man money, which I don't think a woman should ever do, if you're giving him money, that is benefiting him. So it's just like, people know what they can get away with you and what they can't get away with you. So if you're sitting there and you're tolerating it, you're basically telling that person without telling them, keep doing what you're doing because I don't respect myself, I don't value myself. It's as simple as that. And to be honest, when a person is treating you that way, that does not mean, oh, let me try to do a little more, or let me try to convince them, let me put in a little more extra work to make them like me. No. As you are, of course, if there are things that you need to adjust, I understand that in relationships. However, that's not what we're talking about right now. And I'm not even talking about when you're in a relationship and you're doing something that the person doesn't like and they come to you and verbalize that to you and you can make a compromise. That's not what I'm speaking about, because no one's perfect and people are going to fall short within range. We're talking about a person who nitpicks at every little thing. The way you chew, the way you eat, the way you sleep, the way you look. If a person is always having something to say about you and is negative and they're always like criticizing you, always trying to pick you apart, Leave them alone and value yourself, because no one is going to value you more than you value yourself, because you are a reflection of the type of relationships that you get in. If you're with a toxic person, then you're also toxic, because that is a reflection of you, of what you will tolerate, what you feel like you're worth. So you need to go in and rewire your mind and your thinking, your self-perception, and just your value, understanding your value and what you deserve, and operate from those standards. But if you don't have standards as to how a person should treat you, people are going to hand you caca on a plate. You need to be the one to be able to say, I don't want that. But that's not what we're seeing. A lot of women are just accepting the caca on a plate and just sitting there with stink face. And it's like, babes, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do it. Understand that you are not tied to any relationship. You are not tied to anything if it does not serve you. If you're unhappy, if the person does not make you feel good, if you feel anxious when you get around a person, you should not be with that person, point blank, period.